After its IPO, stock ticker IQ or iQiyi dipped about 15% before going up nearly 35%. Now, almost a month after its IPO, it is sitting merely 34 cents above its IPO price. In today's video, I'll be giving my thoughts and analysis on why I think IQ is going to be a hit stock. What's up guys, thanks for tuning into the video today. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Andrew Young, welcome. I make stock, cryptocurrency, tech, and all sorts of videos, so if that sounds good to you, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. I don't want to spend a lot of time on the charts today. I don't think there's anything extremely meaningful given how new the stock is. So I just have two quick things to point out here. We have seemed to establish a support line along the $18.24 line, and on the RSI here we can see that it is being wedged a bit here, and on the 15-minute interval, which is a short interval, we do appear to be trending up and coming back from being oversold. Let's take a look at their website here. Right off the bat, I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say that a lot of what I see here is chalked up to a difference in aesthetic preference between us as consumers here in the United States and most likely what consumers prefer in China. I do like the big banner that they have on top here, as well as most of these tabs. However, it does seem a bit cluttered for my preference, although they certainly do offer a lot. It also appears that iQiyi isn't just the Netflix of China, but does seem to have some YouTube-ish elements as well, I would say. So let's delve right into talking about the business itself though, as there aren't any numbers to analyze. This is an article from Hollywood Reporter, mainly highlighting iQiyi's CEO, Tim Yu-gong. I'm going to pick out a few key points that I see in this article and explain my thoughts on them real quick. So iQiyi is the most popular current video streaming service in China. That is something very important to note. As of September, the iQiyi app had been installed on 541 million mobile devices, with users spending a combined 6.1 billion hours on the service in just a single month. Goes on further to say that Beijing-based iQiyi has been able to hold a slight edge in subscriber numbers over chief rival Tencent Video and a growing lead over Alibaba's lagging Youku Tudou. In April, he negotiated Netflix's first major licensing deal in China, bringing a raft of originals from the US streaming giant to the iQiyi service, including Stranger Things, Mindhunter, and Ultimate Beastmaster. I think iQiyi's ability to negotiate with China is extremely positive. America is held and esteemed as the entertainment and pop culture capital of the world by many people, and because of this, it is no doubt that a lot of our shows are going to be in demand from foreign countries. So, CEO Gong goes on to say that it's actually not an accurate comparison to call iQiyi the Netflix of China. He says that like Netflix, some of our revenue comes from subscriptions, but we also have an ad-supported content. This is a really important point because iQiyi is not dependent on their subscriptions like Netflix to be able to make money. They also generate ad revenue, which we can see from companies like Facebook and Google is a very powerful source of revenue. Going on further here, he says, but we have online games that are developed from our original films and television series. Disney has brick and mortar shops. We have our own online malls where we sell merchandise related to our content. I think this is really smart. He goes on further here to say that 40% comes from advertising, 33% from subscribers, and gaming, e-commerce, and the rest make up the remaining 20+%. This is their revenue pipeline, their revenue distribution, and this diversified revenue stream is really great. It reminds me of Microsoft, and one of Microsoft's strong points is the fact that their revenue stream is so diverse, and it's really nice to see another company have a diverse revenue stream as well. So lastly, it is also in the works that iQiyi distributes some of their original content to Netflix. CEO Gong says that we are distributing some of our content to overseas TV stations, mainly those targeting overseas Chinese viewers. When we have some content that fits Netflix's user base, we expect to distribute some to Netflix. We're working with them. One of the big worries is that Netflix can come into China and take over China as well, but we go on further here to say that foreign companies cannot run a media business within China. It's prohibited, and Netflix is considered a foreign media business. But let's say if they do get in, I think the culture gap would pose a big problem. Any successful streaming company must have a solid base of great domestic content, and that's especially true in China today. They would have a lot of catching up to do. So, it appears that Netflix is embracing the fact that they're not allowed in China. We can see that even though a lot of people were maybe worried about Netflix and whether or not Netflix would be too much competition to handle, we can see that with the partnerships and the deals that they have in the works as well, that Netflix is actually a help right now. My guess is that Netflix knows that it can't penetrate the Chinese market on its own, so instead it'll send over some of its high quality American content that could be in demand in China to the big boy in China that's already established. And lastly, Baidu, your parent company, is considered a world leader in artificial intelligence research and is said to be on par with Google and Facebook in this area. How will AI power iQiyi in the future? So his answer here basically reaffirms that iQiyi, yes, it's a video streaming service, but behind them is this parent company who is very powerful on their tech foundation, and that's always a plus as well. So overall, long term, I think iQiyi and its stock will do very well. I think they have a bright future and will continue to be a dominant player in China. So even though we might see some turbulence in the stock price due to how recent the IPO was, I think long term, iQiyi will be a very good IPO to get in right now. That does it for me. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, please be sure to drop me a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll see y'all in the next video.